Alright guys, thanks for checking out the video today. So, after scouring the internet for some sort of direction on how to put the front window in, I've given up. I'm going to make another video related to the front window. It seems, like I said in the rear window video, everybody decides that they're just going to send it to a glass shop. That's fine. And I guess I'll start this video by saying that take all of the things I do with a grain of salt. This is just to show how I put it in. If it doesn't work out for you, I take no responsibility for it, but at least I'll show you how it goes together. So right now, here's my car. No front window. Windows cut out. I just did complete paint job. And step one would be getting this down to almost nothing. I leave a little bit of the urethane on there. I know a lot of people like to scrape it right down, but keep in mind, if you do scrape it all the way down, you better have that primer compound because you want the urethane to stick. Urethane will stick well to urethane. It doesn't stick all that well, to be totally honest, to bare metal. So I'm not going to scrape it all the way down. There's a tiny bit of urethane left. It is still a little bit pliable, so urethane will stick to urethane. I'm going to use a little bit of primer on the metal that shows, and now I'm going to run a foam dam along here. What that is a 1/4 inch by 1/4 inch piece of basically weather strip. It has an adhesive back. It's sold virtually everywhere for installing windows. What that's going to do is do two things. It's going to stop the window from dropping all the way into the frame and squeezing the urethane out. That's the second part. So first, it's going to stop the window from dropping where your trim isn't going to line up all that well. Second thing it's going to do is stop the urethane from squeezing out this direction and possibly falling all over your dash. So yeah, so you don't want that. So I'm going to use a foam dam for this along this side and along the top. Okay, the first part that you're going to want to use is the frame that goes underneath the window. Now this frame retains little clips or places for the clips to hold on to, and from Nissan it has the adhesive on it. You just have to pull this strip off. To help line this up, it has a little tick in it to center it. Okay, so that little tick is going to go right above the rearview mirror. So that's the first thing that you want to put on. Okay, so the inner window seal is on. There's going to be a little bit at the end that hangs over right there. Don't forget these little yellow clips to support the bottom of the glass. And if you look along the trim that you just installed, there's a bunch of reliefs that are going to match up with the clips that are on your window frame. Okay, so this and if you look, just so you have some confidence about what I'm talking about, if you look at your window molding, you can see there that the pink clip right there matches up to that small retainer. It clips in right there. Okay. All right, so this is pretty much lined up. after the window is set in position, this is what you're putting in next. Now as well, on the window you can see little clips in the corner where the glass is supposed to go into. Okay, pretty simple stuff. And then along the top, a piece of rubber that runs along the top will be retained in there. Okay, so the next thing is to put on the foam window dam. Okay, so here we have the foam dam put on. Okay, and you can actually see this in the manual, so I'm not making this stuff up. Now, what you're meant to do is put the urethane in this sort of trench, and you have to make sure that you put enough so that it goes above the foam. Okay, and so inevitably you're going to have some of that urethane go into the track here, where the clips engage. So you're essentially going to be gluing those clips in, okay, by default. So now at this point, what you would want to do is dry fit the glass and make sure that your foam or rubber dam or foam dam, however you want to talk about it, doesn't push the window too far this way so that the trim won't sit properly. So you'd want to do that. You don't want the dam to hold the glass up so high that the trim doesn't go on properly. So you have to dry fit the glass and make sure that it all matches up properly. That's before you put the urethane on. Don't put it on yet. And just so you guys know what I'm using here, I'm using two 3M products. So it's the 3M primer, which is, I believe, there we go, model number 08682, and the 3M Auto Glass Urethane Windshield Adhesive, part number 08693. So that's what we'll be using for the install. Okay, so here we are. So glass has been put in. So the idea is first put the edge onto these bumpers. Obviously you need someone else to assist you. Be very cautious about this nut right here because it can contact the window. Okay, as you lower the window down, you'll have less chance of this nut here contacting the window. You don't want to crack the window by bumping off that. The first thing that you would do with the trim is you would put these side pieces in. Okay, so this is number one, both sides. Then the top rubber piece you feed into the metal end and then work it across. All right, and then that's it. You have your window in. Now these pieces up here don't per se have very strong clips, so I tape this down. Because I have new paint, I just put a paper towel there so to bridge the paint, but it's taped to the trim here. So just to put some pressure on it overnight. Okay, I did that both sides. And make sure you're aware of your wire for the aerial that's built into the glass. Make sure you get that out of the way so it doesn't get sandwiched into something. I just taped it to the inside of the window. And that's it, guys. It is, the glass is in. Really not that difficult. So, like I said, do this at your own risk, not taking responsibility for these directions. but I'm not an expert in glass installation, and with a friend of mine, this took us about maybe 30 minutes to put in. So not bad at all. All right, guys, thank you for checking out the video today. This was the front window glass install on the R32 GTR. It went okay, no big disasters. The glass obviously is extremely expensive from Nissan. So if you do decide to take this to a glass installer, ask them about their warranty, whether they damage it or not, what they're going to do. But other than that, it should go just fine. So yeah, if you guys are interested in seeing more videos, make sure you subscribe to me on YouTube by hitting that bell. That way you'll get notified every time I put up a new video. And otherwise, you can check me out on Instagram at Wrench Rampage. Have a good night.